Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So a bill that's currently in Congress in both the House as well as the Senate would raise benefits for Social Security beneficiaries by $2,400 per year. We're going to be giving an update on that and why it has just 1 year left to pass. Plus, a new poll shows that Americans now say that former President Donald Trump actually bears less responsibility for the events that took place on January 6th. We're going to be going over that polling data as well. But before I go ahead and dive into the main features of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive $60 or more in free stocks or $60 or more in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Webull. All you got to do is once you click on that link is open up a free account and then deposit at least 1 penny on the platform. At that point, you're going to receive 20 stocks for free. If you don't want to invest at this point in time, all you have to do is just sell those stocks for what they're worth and then transfer these $60 or more that you receive right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our lead story of today's video, and that involves the former president and Donald Trump and the events that took place back on January 6th. And at this point, according to new polling data, it looks like Americans on both sides of the aisle now say that, hey, perhaps, the former president actually has, less responsibility for the things that took place back on that day. So according to The Hill, fewer Republicans say former President Trump bears responsibility for the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol nearly 3 years after the insurrection, according to a new survey. The Washington Post/University of Maryland poll published Tuesday follows up on a similar poll conducted 2 years prior in December 2021. When asked about the various aspects of the riots, Americans are less inclined to blame Trump for the attack, a change that appears to be driven mostly by Republicans but extends across party lines. And you can see the results of the poll up there on the screen. We can see the maroon color is that Trump bears responsibility for 2023, whereas the purple shade is that Trump bears responsibility in 2021. So you can see that back in 2021, 92% of Democrats said that Trump bears responsibility, so only 8% said that he did not. Whereas right now, a couple of years later, we actually have 6% less in Democrats saying that Trump bears support. So the amount of Democrats that say that Trump was responsible for the events has gone down. As far as independents go, 57% said that he was responsible 2 years ago, back in 2021, whereas today only 56% of independents say that he's responsible. And then among Republicans, that amount has been cut in half. So back in 2021, 27% of Republicans said that he was responsible for the events that took place, whereas today just 14% of Republicans said that he was responsible. Now, let me know in the comment section below why you think this change has taken place. Is it because all of the new video evidence that has been released of the events? Just more information coming forward? Perhaps, Trump's tweets before he went out and gave his speech that, that he wanted people to be there peacefully and protest peacefully. And also, the fact that perhaps even if someone says something, it doesn't necessarily mean that you should go out and do it. Just like the Bernie Sanders supporter that went up and shot up a congressional baseball game where Republicans were practicing because Bernie Sanders said that Republicans were trying to kill thousands of Americans with their health care bill, or all the riots that took place back in I believe it's the summer of 2020 or 2021, where millions of dollars in property were burned down to the ground. You can't necessarily blame Democrat politicians for perhaps egging some of the protest on. It doesn't necessarily mean to go out and burn down property. There's a way to protest peacefully in these things, and that doesn't mean destroying property or anything like that. Now, diving into the main story of today's video, as in the title, we have the $2,400 increase that's on the table right now in both the House and the Senate. This was a bill that was introduced by Bernie Sanders and still to this day has not passed. So basically, we have a bill that is being introduced by Senator Bernie Sanders and Senator Elizabeth Warren, and that is called the Social Security Expansion Act. Now, this thing would do a lot of things other than the $2,400 increase. So, for example, it would extend the solvency of Social Security by 75 years by requiring the wealthiest American households to pay their fair share in taxes. So basically, it would raise taxes on Americans earning above $250,000 per year, both on their investments as well as their income. And then, of course, it would also expand these Social Security benefits across the board for current and new beneficiaries. So under this bill, Social Security benefits for current and existing recipients would be increased by $2,400 per year or $200 per month. They would also increase the cost of living adjustments, so they would use either the CPIE or the CPIW, whichever happened to be greater. So each and every year, your cost of living adjustment would be a tad bit higher. This wouldn't be a significant amount, but over time, obviously, this would certainly add up. It would also improve the special minimum benefit for Social Security recipients. So they would basically make it so it would be worth around 125% of the federal poverty line, or over $18,000 for a single worker who had worked their full career. So if that were to happen, that would actually work out to right around a $485 per month increase for those currently receiving these special minimum benefits. So that would be obviously even greater than the $200 per month increase for everyone else. Now, we can see up on the screen here, just for an update, to see like who exactly in Congress is on board to vote yes on this bill if it were to reach the floor for a vote. And first off, we're going to start in the House. So right now, in the House, as you can see up on the screen, in the middle of the screen, we can see that there are 34 co-sponsors. So basically, a co-sponsor is whenever a politician signs onto the bill and says, hey, I really like this bill. If it were to go on the floor for a vote, I would definitely vote yes. So we definitely have 34 votes for a yes. The problem is here, they would need 218 yes votes. And as you can see on the bottom left hand of the screen, all 34 co-sponsors happen to be Democrats. So we don't have a single Republican saying they would vote yes on the bill. And considering that Republicans do have the majority in the House, they would need at least, a few Republicans to come on and also support the bill as well. Now, as far as the Senate goes, in the Senate, we can see in the middle of the screen, it has 9 co-sponsors, but on the bottom left hand of the screen, once again, we can see that all 9 co-sponsors happen to be Democrats. Now, in the Senate, for this bill to pass, they would need at least 60 yes votes. There are 51, people who would caucus with the Democrats, and then 49 Republicans. So they would need all 51 people who caucus with the Democrats to vote yes, and then they would also need 9 Republicans. So right now, it looks like in both the House and the Senate, it's going to be very tough for this bill to pass, just because they would need Republicans to also come on and support this bill. Now, if the bill doesn't pass by the end of the year, what's basically going to happen if Bernie Sanders once again is in Congress in 2025, which it looks like he is going to be, once again, he's just going to have to reintroduce the bill and hope that it passes. And for the Democrats to have any chance of this bill passing, they're more than likely going to have to retake back the majority in the House and then get as close as possible to 60 seats in the Senate, which is going to be very, very difficult for them to do. But that's just a quick update on that bill. They do have some time left to pass it, but obviously they will need some Republicans to get on board. And finally, in our last story of today's video, we're going to be going over a congresswoman's decision to switch districts over in Colorado just because she thinks that she's going to be defeated. Now, back in 2022, Lauren Boebert actually won her district once again in her re-election fight. However, it was a very slim win by right around 500 votes. And because of this, she actually thinks that she might lose in 2024. So she's saying, well, because I might lose or because it might be very close, I'm going to switch over to another district. So basically, rather than faulting herself for the behavior that she's had over the past year, you can Google her name, Lauren Boebert Beetlejuice, and you can see the event that took place there. A lot of controversy around her name, but instead of faulting herself, she's faulting these Hollywood elites in Ryan Reynolds and Barbara Streisand. So according to The Hill, Representative Lauren Boebert is blaming Hollywood stars Ryan Reynolds and Barbara Streisand as part of the reason why she decided to switch districts. Boebert accused Hollywood stars of, quote, trying to buy her current congressional district by donating to her Democrat opponent Adam Frisch in an interview on Steve Bannon's War Room podcast on Saturday. She said the reason for switching from the state's 3rd congressional district to the 4th congressional district was about, quote, how we can best defend and advance conservative principles. And Boebert has repeatedly said she will not allow dark money to steal the seat. She echoed that sentiment in the recent interview, again reiterating that her opponents are being funded by Hollywood. And according to the Federal Elections Commission filings, Streisand donated a whole $1,000 to Frisch's campaign in April, while Reynolds donated $500 in March. So a whopping $1,500 being donated by these Hollywood elites who are really, that I'm sure that $1,500 is really going to go a long ways in defeating her. And in reality there, it's about her behavior. people can have the best principles, I guess, in DC, but their behavior matters a lot. If they're being represented by us and being paid this amount of money, we expect better behavior from them, whether they're a Democrat or whether they're a Republican. They certainly shouldn't be running around acting the way that she did, at least at the Beetlejuice performance. But let me know what your thoughts and comments are below on all of this, and that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like, consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.